Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today it is Tuesday, March 18th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. Bitcoin sitting at 82,000. The sideways trend continues. What's going to happen first? Is Bitcoin going to get a leg up, or is the altcoin market going to explode? Is Bitcoin going to lead the charge and give us a leg up, or is it going to continue going down? Is the money going to rotate to the alts? Something's going to happen. We see on the 7-day Bitcoin, it's just been doing what Bitcoin does, sitting sideways. Bitcoin is looking good over the past week. It touched below 80K briefly. It's touched up to 85. So we're sitting in this range between 79K and 85K. It's not a bad range for Bitcoin to be in. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm wondering if Bitcoin's going to get back to 90, 100K before the altcoins blow up, or if Bitcoin's going to continue creeping down, and if the money is going to be transferred from Bitcoin to the alts. Something's going to happen, and we're going to get a nice alt run either way. I just can't call when. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm sitting here holding my assets waiting for it. XRP, $2.25. We're sitting in this little range too, where we're bouncing between right under $2 up to 250. This is the range we're in. That's a pretty volatile range. And if you're $2 and you're bouncing 50 cents, that's a quarter of your value. I think XRP is going to get a great leg up. I think we're going to go straight to 10 bucks. Maybe we'll hit 7 first. We'll have a day at 7, and the next day we'll be at 10. And that'll be a nice ×5 from here, a little bit less than, almost a ×4. To get to 10 bucks from here would be a ×4 from here. And there would be nothing wrong with that. You would have to be happy with a $10 XRP. If you've been here since 2017, you were here for the summer of pain in 2019, XRP is going to do well. It's going to do great things. We're on the precipice of doing it right now. And what about the assets that are tied to XRP that don't have as big of a market cap? Because XRP's market cap is 131 billion. It's still 10 times less than Bitcoin. In terms of market cap, it's 10 times less than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sitting at 1.7 trillion. ETH is sitting right at $1,900. ETH really didn't see any positive price action in this cycle. You look at ETH's all-time chart. ETH went up and touched 4,000 bucks, a little bit over that. Right now we're sitting at 1,900. I think ETH's in the falling sword, and I think Bitcoin is too. And it's tough to accept when you're in those assets. When you're in an asset that's in the falling sword, you don't want to believe it. You're hoping that it's going to keep going sideways. You're hoping you're going to get some good news that's going to pop it up. But the truth of the matter is, look at what ETH did in the previous cycle. It did great. It went all the way up past 4,000 bucks. It fought and got back there back in 2024. And ever since then, we've seen a downtrend. It'll be interesting to see what ETH does. I could be completely wrong, but I've never been a believer in the technology that ETH brings to the table, just in terms of the fees being high and hotel ETH being a shit show because you always need ETH in your wallet to make it go, and you never have enough for the fees. So you're always having to buy $30 more ETH on Coinbase and send it to yourself just to operate. Since the network hasn't been as busy, the transaction fees have been low. But fool me once, you know? I'm not going to become some ETH head just because they have low fees. They're not as low as XRP or Flare, not as low as Algo. Those fees are damn near non-existent. Flare sitting at 0.1515. Flare is almost at that all-time low again. We're pretty much sitting at an all-time low for Flare. Now, I think that Flare has built a great piece of technology, and I think that Flare's chart is going to end up looking similar to ETH's, where we're going to see a massive price appreciation. Flare has a little bit over 100 billion tokens. It's looking to add smart contract capability to tokens that don't have it. DOGE, Litecoin, Bitcoin, XRP. These assets are going to get smart contract capabilities, meaning you're going to be able to stake your tokens on the Flare network. Hopefully you can do it without having to leave your current network. Flare is working on some cool stuff, and the price action is yet to be seen. I think it's here to mess with you. It's here to drive you a bit insane. But this is really a great opportunity to accumulate Flare, sitting at an all-time low. Meanwhile, the technology is getting built. The more time that goes on, the closer to having a utility use case come out. I'm excited for it. I know that one day it's going to happen. We're going to see some utility. We're going to see some money flow into Flare because people are using it. Now, with that being said, Flare is a top 70 token by market cap, even at an all-time low. Crazy. I think that when Flare really goes on its price run, we're going to see it in the top 10 tokens. It's going to be that powerful of an asset, and everyone's going to be kicking themselves for not getting more, saying it was so obvious. It was such an obvious pick. But when things are down like this, when something's all-time chart looks like this, it's hard to really buy in like that. There's no positive price action ever. All you get is sell pressure from the people who are delegating as well as the people who are getting the airdrops. If you're getting 3% of your bag back every month in an airdrop, turn around and you sell it, recoup some of your money, you're pushing the price down. With that being said, talking about prices being pushed down, Osmi AI. While the nodes were vesting, there was a 90-day vesting period. The token sat between 17 and 22 cents. It even had a run up to 40 cents while the nodes were being sold because there was a lot of buying action of Osmi. In order to get the node, you had to buy Osmi. That pushed the price up to 44 cents. And then we saw it go all the way down to now 3.85 pennies. And so let's just do a little math here. The Osmi nodes are $4,000 and it produces about 400 Osmi per day. So we're talking about less than a year to pay off your Osmi node. But the thing about it is that there's going to be continued sell pressure. There are people who bought tons of these Osmi nodes. You were in that first tier for 2,000 bucks, and they're looking to get a return on their money. And every time these people look and see the token price has gone down, they think to themselves they should sell a little bit more and try to recoup their money. I mean, it'd be rough if you spend a bunch of money on these nodes And if the token price just collapsed, it's not about how many tokens you're getting, it's about the price of the token. When you look at that Uniswap list for this Osmi token, it's a lot of sells. People are cashing out. They're getting paid every day and they're cashing out. What's Osmi gonna do? And I know they're talking about implementing a way to have a light burn of Osmi, because you need Osmi to actually use their AI machine, Osmi AI. But we'll see when this is implemented. I mean, they have a great product on paper, very new. It is yet to be through a bear market. They're doing a node project. It's somewhat attached to Gala, but it's also its own thing. It's on ETH and Gala chain. I'm excited about Osmi AI and their product. I just don't know what's going to happen with the token price. It's a risky buy. We're talking about something that has this sell pressure. But with that being said, Gala Games had a lot of sell pressure too. It went from 1 cent up to 80 cents back in the bull run of 2020. And I think that Gala is going to do great things. I think that Gala is going to do it again. Gala holding up nicely, sitting at 79th on the all-time chart for market cap. So Gala and Flare, 2 tokens that have stuck now in the top 100. And that's impressive. If you look at the top 100 tokens from 4 years ago to the top 100 tokens today, it's not all the same assets. There's been quite a swing of assets joining the top 10, joining the top 50. Being replaced from the top 10, top 50. The crypto market swings money around. And that's why it's a safe bet to be in an asset like a Bitcoin and Ether and XRP, one that's constantly a top 10, if not a top 5 token. Because you know that as the market of crypto holds up, these assets are going to hold their price pretty decently too. Versus a low cap, which could lose a ton of value. And you're sitting there holding this bag that's been decreased a ton. If you're in a project that's got a real team, they're building, they have a community, and they have a use case which is upcoming, I think it's worth taking a stab at, because great things could be on the horizon. I mean, to have a use case in crypto means you have a chance to do incredible things. We see tokens like Farcoin go on to do great things price-wise with no use case. What they bring to the table is community and memes. Algo sitting at 18 cents. Algo's ranked 52nd right now on the all-time chart by market cap. Speaking of, it's got a market cap of 1.5 billion and a 24-hour trading volume of 72 million. Algorand's a powerhouse. Here we go. Kevin O'Leary recommends storing crypto on centralized exchanges like Coinbase instead of decentralized wallets. What's wrong with this guy? Obviously, he's not a crypto guy. And while it does sound nice, Ripple has a new wallet coming out themselves. And it sounds great to give your money to the likes of a Ripple, especially if they were to give you interest on it or allow you to take loans similar to a Nexo. But there's this inherent amount of trust that comes with that for them to store your shit correctly. Is there going to be KYC? You know, Coinbase has closed people's accounts pretty much for no reason. If you look up Coinbase horror stories, you will see people getting locked out of their money. They sent themselves some money to Coinbase, and then they hear that their account's locked. And then they just can't get it back, and it's like a slow, very slow process. You need as many on and off ramps as you can. I like Uphold and Coinbase, and if you can play off both of them, you should be okay. But I wouldn't recommend storing your crypto on one of these exchanges. Don't forget FTX. Don't forget Mt. Gox. These stories will keep happening and keep happening. Now, if somebody changes the game and brings in banking-grade wallet security, where you can add KYC to it, it's attached to your wallet, so you go to your bank and you can see your crypto in your online portfolio, and you can withdraw that if you want to. I'm not putting my crypto anywhere where I can't withdraw it. It was always the old tale about Robinhood was, does Robinhood actually have the crypto if they don't let you withdraw it? Or is it just an IOU? And what's going to happen when it goes to the moon? Are they going to be able to pay out the IOU? Here we go. This is from Cointelegraph, and I'm looking at Alex Cobb's page. Cointelegraph said, Ripple files a trademark for downloadable software for custody of cryptocurrency. I think this is for institutions. You sign up a bank to use Ripple Pay, you sign up the likes of a Fidelity, and they want to get in on an over-the-counter XRP purchase. Who's going to hold it for them? Who's going to hold their XRP? You're going to trust them to do it? They're new. They need help, and they're playing with large sums of money. They're not in a position where they could lose it. There's no redos in crypto. From Jake Claver. Wake up. XRP isn't just about the payments. It's about tokenizing the entire financial system. Ripple saw ISO 200-2022 coming years before anybody else and recognized the 434 billion daily volume that comes with it. Ripple isn't playing small. They're setting up to tap into markets worth trillions. But this is where I think it gets interesting. Baggins says you lost me with ISO 200-22 since it's a payment messaging format. He says, I have read the ISO 200-2022 data dictionary and see very little for crypto in it. Please be specific. Crypto Tiger says the ISO 200-2022 was implemented as a bridge between the traditional finance banking systems and the crypto networks. There is a field in the ISO 200-2022 messaging system that references cryptocurrency information, so crypto can be sent as the payment. Crypto companies compatible with ISO will be the first to be able to send crypto payments using this standard. So we got XRP, we got XLM, we got XDC, we got Algo, we got IOTA, we got HBAR, we got Quant, we got Cardano. That's a good list right there. If you were to choose some tokens to invest in, you're new to the market, I would say to at least get a few off this list and then to hold on for the next 5 to 10 years. Because we're talking about all the money. We're talking about Swift. We're talking about real world assets. We're talking about DeFi, replacing traditional finance. If Flare opens up the floodgates, if Cardano opens up the floodgates, I don't think people are going back. Why would you want some minuscule APY when you can hold a crypto asset that gets a better APY? And then you have the potential for that crypto asset to go up in value exponentially too. It just makes more sense. And Algo's on the list. We have shots being thrown because Solana reposted a video which was downplaying people's pronouns, kind of making light of it. You know, I thought it was funny. We have these messages from Solana here that Control-Alt-Delete posted, which these are back from 2020, where it looks like Solana is pandering to Black Lives Matter. And Control-Alt-Delete says about the Solana ad yesterday that was pulled or rugged. This isn't the first time they've done something like this. It's a grift, built on technology, not ideology, built on Algorand. I'm not a Sol guy, you know, I'm not an AVAX guy, I'm not a Sol guy. I do own some Algorand, and I like that it's a real-world asset token. I like that it's an ISO 200-2022 compliant token. This sets it up for a potential to be used. Just because you're pandering to Black Lives Matter, I guess Solana is getting set up as a way for these guys to suck money to buy their mansions. Maybe a meme coin's gonna come out for them. But seriously, what is the use case of Solana other than meme coins? Pump fun. That seems to be the extent of Solana's use case. Zach Humphrey says, been researching Algo. Pure proof of stake that actually works. Zero downtime since their launch. 10,000 transactions per second with instant finality. No forking, no validator drama, just reliable tech doing its job. The kicker, MIT's crypto pioneer, Silvio Macaulay created it. Same guy who won the Turing Award, yet hardly anyone talks about it. And we know Silvio potentially just left Algo, but what does it mean? He built this great car for finance. It's not like he's taking the technology with him. The technology stays. What's leaving is Silvio, and maybe they don't need him back there to be the main engineer anymore. Maybe he's got other people working on it. I couldn't tell you, I'm not there. Current market cap makes no sense. We're paying premium for chains with way more issues. Either I'm missing something major here, or this is the most undervalued L1 in crypto. Picture of Silvio smiling. Like I said, it kind of scared people that Silvio's leaving the team. But if you have the foundation and you have the asset with the technology, I don't think it matters that Silvio leads the team. Engineers generally aren't the spokespeople for products, okay? You need B&D. You need somebody like Brad Garlinghouse. That's your spokesperson. As much as we love David Schwartz and the engineers, there are people with better talking points. And I'd say Brad Garlinghouse is a great talker. He's a great representative of XRP. Midi says, Algo. Everyone worried about prices in the whole market during uncertainty. Meanwhile, my Algorand node, which runs on a $300 computer I got for free, is making my Algorand bag holdings a new all-time high every 2 hours. Stacking, my dudes. One Algo equals one Algo. It would be awesome to run an Algo node. Now, I think there's a number of Algo that you need to hold in order to spin up that node, and I want to say it's 30,000 Algorand. You want to get in? You want to do pure staking? You need 30,000 Algo. Algo is less than 20 cents a piece. What's 1/5 of 30K? We're talking about like 6,000 bucks today. 6,000 bucks gets you an Algorand node. You'll be staking and earning Algorand back. Interesting concept. So we have some ideas. We have some ideas of things to do. You know, what's the most lucrative idea here? Is it just to hold $6,000 of an ISO 200-2022 protocol asset like XRP or Algorand? You know, let's say you have 3,000 XRP tokens, a little bit less than, let's call it 2,500. You have $6,000 of XRP, 2,500 XRP. And XRP hits 10 bucks. You know, that 2,500 tokens times 10 bucks, that's now 25 grand. What's the price of Algorand going to be? How many nodes are going to be available for Osmi when these price targets are met? Because I'm sure other people are going to be having similar ideas as what can I reinvest my money into node-wise or asset-wise to keep getting returns. So crypto market likes to swing, okay? When one thing goes, the money gets rotated to the next thing which goes. I like to look at assets which are in that top 100. Now, if you're a side asset, the Void Network, Songbird, Gala Music, it's okay that these things are not in the top 100 because their parent company or their brother company, if you will, is in the top 100. Void Network's code is a complete clone of Algorand. The Void Network is trying to do Algorand, but from a community standpoint, where 75% of the node funds are going back to the community. But it's got the exact same code as Algorand. It was invested in by Michael Arrington. That's big time. So if there's a use case for Algorand, there should be a use case for Void Network. And the fact that it's so small means that it has room for exponential growth. Same thing with the Gala Music. Gala is a top 80 token by market cap. Meanwhile, Gala Music has a market cap of less than $3 million. It has a real ecosystem. It has hundreds of songs. It has hundreds of artists who are dropping music there to sell it as NFTs. And the people who buy the NFT songs then earn royalties as that song is streamed. So day by day, your royalties may not be the same number because the song is going to be streamed at different amounts of times. There's interesting aspects to these tokens. I like these tokens that have real communities, that have a use case, and that are low market cap. I like the top 100 market cap tokens too. I think those are safer plays. I think that XRP is going to be here. Algorand's going to be here. But if a Gala Music hits, if a Void Network hits, these things could run so hard that it could make it worthwhile for you. You start with $1,000, and if you hit it times 100, you got 100K. That's not bad. If you put $1,000 into Bitcoin, you're not going to get 100K. You're not going to hit it times 100 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not going to 10 million a token. I hate to be that guy who tells you the truth, but maybe that's why you're here listening. Alpine Shrimp says another 500 Algorand nodes added to the mainnet in the past 5 days. We've crossed 6,000 nodes. This is just the beginning. So we know that Bitcoin, ETH, Gala Games, these guys have huge node networks. But to have 6,000 people running your nodes, that's a big deal too. Seriously, it's growing. It seems decentralized to me. I mean, the amount of tokens needed to spin off a node kind of tells me that there won't be people with multiple nodes. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But compared to an asset like Gala Games, where maybe you got in, or Osmi, you got in and you bought multiple nodes, the Algorand nodes are different because you have to hold the asset in order to get the node payout. I think this creates a different mindset for the people who are playing the game. Because let's say you put in 60K into Osmi and you got 30 nodes, right? They were 2,000 a pop on their first go round. You have no Osmi token then. Now you're hoping to earn Osmi token every day so you can sell it and get your money back. If you have 30,000 Algorand and you're earning more Algorand on top of that, just by saying it out loud, the pressure to sell isn't there because you still hold your Algorand. There's more reason to hold. That's the way I see it. The Algorand developers have this to say. Developers can build on Algo with full trust in the technology. No transaction orchestration, lightning fast speed, quantum secure chain history, and energy efficient. Technology you can trust. The crypto markets are going places. All right? They are. Algorand, it's going to be a top 25 token by market cap. Their nodes are going to be valuable. I'm excited to be talking 5 years from now, looking at an asset like an Algo or an XRP. The zoom out is going to be crazy because we've yet to see the biggest run in crypto history. We're about to have more money flow into crypto than we've ever seen before. The overall market cap of crypto is still under 4 trillion. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, he said that we're going to see a $10 trillion market cap in crypto. And he said it's going to be sooner than later. The assets that are for real are going to see a lot of that money flow into them. It's not going to be the fart coins of the world. It's going to need to be an asset that is for real. It has a use case. It has a community. It has a team. It has a DePIN network. It's decentralized. It works seamlessly. No downtime. I'm all about technology that works good. That's why I didn't like Bitcoin or ETH. I just didn't feel like it worked good. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Until next time.